Don't play with it, don't be dishonest. Ay, still not understanding.
Alright, so hey y'all, I'm back with another video. I just wanna ask Zealand, no. Sorry y'all. Yeah, I'm back with another video. First and foremost, I just want to take the time to just ask the Heavenly Father to just flow through me as I record this video. I ask that He just allow it to flow because I'm doing my best to be as obedient as I can. So, alright. So, a couple of days ago, I was approached by someone. I won't say the name, but I was approached by someone and they asked me how do I navigate my way through child loss. And I never really thought about what I would say if I was faced with that question. I never really, gave it much thought. And it kind of caught me off guard when I was asked a couple of days ago, but I just remember just telling her whatever you do, just go through it. Don't skip out on any parts of the grieving that you're doing. Just, let everything out. Don't suppress your feelings. Be kind to yourself. I just remember stressing, don't hold back on anything. Let out all of your feelings. Just lay it all out on the table. And the biggest, trust God. Because He is the one that's going to get you through this. But in a time like this, I'm not going to say we're not going to focus on God, because this video is only being made because of God, because He just kept telling me you gotta make this video, He just kept putting it in my spirit. I literally woke up this morning and it just popped up in my head. It just kept I just kept hearing, don't skip out on the process, don't skip out on the process, don't skip out on the process. And I'm just what does it even mean? What is it? So we're not going to put that part to the back of the story, but I'm just speaking of experience of how I was when I was in my darkest days of grieving from child loss. God was the furthest thing from my mind at that point. So I kind of try to, when I'm talking to a lot of people, because sometimes as humans we need I don't want to say logical advice, because God is logical. So I'm put it this way. I'm gonna say spiritual advice would be scriptures and saying, trust God. Even though we know to trust God, even though sometimes we may not have as much trust in God, but we know to lean on God and not our own understanding. But I feel sometimes when we're going through a lot, we want logical advice, real life advice for right then and there. So I always try to make sure they know that the reason why I'm standing right here right now is because of God. But I also try to be to someone. This is so new to me, y'all, just making a video on the spot and not just actually thinking about it. But I wanted to give my friend logical advice. And so the best thing that I could say was to just go through it. And I remember when I was saying it, the song that popped up in my head was, how does it go? Live through it. Go through it. You can make it if you trust. Play through it. I'm sorry, y'all, Forgive me, because again, like I say, I'm new to this. I'm so new to it, and I'm building up my gospel playlist as well. So I am still messing up some of the words, but if you know, you know. If you've heard that song, then you know what I'm trying to what I'm trying to sing. I want to say his name was James Fortune. I gotta look this up because I feel foolish, y'all. Forgive me. But again, like I said, I wanted to give her some logical advice. So I said the only way to get through it is to go through it. And I just, like, when I said that, something just clicked. And I was like, because that was the best advice that I could give anyone that asks me, you know, how am I navigating through, you know, my situation. Is to, yeah, it's called Live Through It by James Fortune. And, Fire? Yeah. So, I'm sorry, I keep looking down because there's Zealand on the floor. But I told her, I was just like, you know, just go through it. Don't hold back. Don't let anyone tell you how you're supposed to be feeling at this time. Don't let anyone persuade you into doing anything that you may not want to do in that time. You know, just don't let anybody tell you how you're supposed to feel in that moment, especially if they have not gone through what you have gone through. So, I remember just like it clicking in my mind. Like I keep going back to it, but like this morning it just was like, don't skip out on the process. And that's true, y'all, because like just when you're going through anything in life, especially grief, and I'm gonna talk a bit more about what I went through, because I've never really came on my channel and talked about, you know, how I felt, because back then it was a whole bunch of smoke. It was a lot of smoke in the way, but now this smoke is clear. The smoke is gone. And now I can talk about it a little more, you know, without, you know, crying and stuff like that. I can talk about it with a clearer headspace. But I just think that it was pretty clever, you know, like for God to put that on my mind this morning, like don't skip out on the process. As a matter of fact, that's going to be the title of this video. Don't skip out on the process. So back in my time when I was grieving, I had a lot of people, because I'm talking about I hit it hard, y'all. Like, I don't think that the grief that I felt, I don't feel like it was, well, I'm not going to say I don't feel like it was normal, because I feel like it was very normal and it was very necessary too. But I hit grief hard. Like, I went at it. Like, there was a lot that I was going through at the time. There was a lot that was going on in my mind. And so, like, my grief was heavier. I'll say that. I had, my grief was a lot heavier than most people, because my daughter was, like, my everything. Before she even came into this world, she was literally my everything. And I'll get into that in another video, because I don't feel like this is the video for that, what I was about to say. But anyway, yeah, I went at grief really hard. Like, I was struggling with depression really bad. I was having a lot of suicidal thoughts. And most people always felt like for me to have been going through what I was going through, the best thing for me that they thought that I should do was to put away all of my daughter's things, like get rid of everything, out of sight, out of mind. That's what a lot of people felt like would be best for me to do. But however, I kind of did things differently. I felt like for some reason during those times I felt like I needed to have her stuff around. However, when I did leave the hospital, one of my requests that I made to my sister was, by the time that I got home, I wanted everything gone. I wanted the cribs took down. I wanted her bassinet from out of my room. I just wanted everything gone. I didn't want any, you know, trace of, you know, all the baby stuff. Of course, nothing in life is free. So when you die, you still have to pay. And we had to pay to bury my daughter. So a lot of stuff that we had purchased for her, a lot of stuff that we had got from the baby shower, my sister asked if, you know, since I wanted everything gone, and, you know, since my daughter was gone, she asked if it would be okay if she sold, you know, all of the stuff to cover our, cover the expenses for, you know, her burial. And so I was like, yeah, that's cool. So my sister, she did that though. I will say that my sister, she did what she had to do. She handled her business that day, and she sold all of my daughter's stuff. And she got our, because I want to say, I'm not sure, but I want to say my child's, I want to say my daughter's other side of the family, on her dad's side, I want to say they helped bury her. I'm not sure. I don't know, because I didn't have any hand on any of that because I was not in the right mind. But anyway, so my sister literally got rid of everything. She sold everything. But my only request was that she kept the bassinet, because the bassinet was my favorite. I had picked out my baby's bassinet when I was like 6 weeks. Like, I was not even that far along, but I just knew that that was the bassinet that I wanted for my baby. And I waited till it got time, like closer to her to be born, before I went and I purchased it. So I asked her to get rid of everything but to keep the bassinet. Why? I don't know, because I don't see myself having any more kids, but that's another video. But anyway, I asked her to get rid of everything but to keep the bassinet. And like, when I got home, I remember being in my room, and I remember waking up one morning and I asked, I think it was my dad, like, what did he do with the bassinet? Like, because I know that it wasn't in the room, and I had asked my sister to keep it. And so he was like, it's up in the closet. And I remember him telling me, like, he doesn't think that I should, you know, put the bassinet up in my room. And to be honest, I didn't want the bassinet up in my room, but I just wanted to, like, look at it, if that makes sense. Why? I don't know, y'all, but I just wanted to keep it and just look at it. I guess it was like a reminder, because I didn't have anything left. Another thing, to anyone that's watching this video, and when it comes down to reminders, take as many pictures as you can. Something I wish that I had done with my daughter before I let them take her away. I wish I had taken more pictures, because I only have like roughly 5 pictures of her. 2 pictures of like when I had freshly just had her and I was just holding her in my hand. I don't have any pictures of me and her together, and I wish I did. I didn't know that I was allowed to dress my daughter and, you know, put her on her first outfit and take pictures. I didn't know anything about that. I didn't know that I could have actually helped them give my daughter her first bath either. So that's just, I pray that nobody else, well, I pray that no one will ever have to, you know, experience that. But that was just some things that I wish that I had known before, you know, everything was all said and done. And y'all sorry, because I'm kind of all over with this video, but I'm just trying my best to be obedient and just record, because God was telling me to record. I wanted to keep her bassinet. I just really wanted to look at it. And there was a lot of stuff, like people, they was always telling me, like, you need to get rid of the banner that you had at your baby shower. Like, you need to take it off the wall. You need to get rid of the picture that they gave you from the hospital of her. You need to get rid of the picture frame that the, you know, just all kinds of stuff, like hide this and hide that. They felt like I was damaging myself by just, you know, sitting there and reminiscing and looking at her pictures and running out to her grave every 5 seconds. Like, I would literally have a bad day, and then next thing you know, I'm gone. Like, I'm going to her grave to go sit and, you know, just cry. Like, a lot of people felt like that was not good. They felt like it was unhealthy, and that a lot of people around me, my family, they was just really afraid. They were really afraid, because like I said, I hit grief hard. It was not pretty at all. Like I said, I was depressed. I was very suicidal. At that point, I had lost all hope in God. There was not a God. And I remember screaming one day, like just completely screaming so loud, like it was the scariest thing ever. As a matter of fact, I remember, I think my people said that I actually had blacked out, but I was screaming so loud, like, you know, God hates me, I hate God. It was really rough back then for me, like really, really rough, y'all. I'm telling you, I did not feel good back then. I did not feel good at all. I really wish that I could speak about this like in a more fluent way, you know, so that someone could probably, like, you know, feel what I'm saying in a way, because this just feels really choppy. But I'm trying my best to make it make sense. But just whatever, if there is anyone that's watching this video and you're wondering how you're gonna navigate through child loss, and I pray not that no one ever has to experience this that I've experienced, which I know that this happens all the time all over the world, and my condolences to any mother that knows what I feel. But if you're wondering how you're gonna navigate through child loss, stillborn, ectopic pregnancy, miscarriage, any loss that you can think of, like it doesn't even have to be like of a child, but I speak specifically of child loss because that's where my grief comes from. But if you're ever wondering how to navigate through child loss, just please don't skip out on the process. Go through it, feel it, and grow through it, and trust God. Please trust God. I feel like at some point, when it comes down to child loss, you will kind of like lose the faith. But it's just like for something so bad to happen to you, you kind of get curious, and you just like, if there's really a God, at some point during the grieving process, you'll be like, if there is really a God, if you're a real God, show me you. Or Lord, if you're real and you have plans to prosper me and not harm me, why did you let this happen? Because I remember asking that, but at some point in your grief, I feel like you'll get to that point where you kind of question God. And at that very moment, even the questioning God is you including God in the journey, your grief journey. I know it's kind of weird because they say, you know, don't question God, but God is our friend. If you can't question the Creator, then who can you? Who can you trust? Even if you have questions, just don't forget to continue to seek His face to get answers. Because I feel like our interactions with God is a bond, a way to build a bond with God. So definitely with child loss, don't skip out on the process of healing and just going through it. I know that sounds weird because it's just like some people, I know I wanted to skip the whole part of going through it because I was going through it for a very long time. Very, very bad. Like, but just go through it. And maybe one day God will give me my testimony, but right now I'm just starting somewhere. He put on my spirit this morning, don't skip out on the process. And I felt like that was Him telling me, you need to make a video speaking about it. And who knows, maybe on down the line, He'll have me to redo this video and it be better than this one. But for right now, if there's anyone out here that's wondering how to navigate through child loss, My words to you would be, don't skip out on the process, and all is well.